Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about NNDM stock and BNGO stock. For NNDM stock, we will be doing a full analysis of Nano Dimension's fourth quarter and year-over-year financials, and we will talk about if NNDM stock is still a good buy. Then we will talk about how Bio finished another conference event. Then we will discuss if BNGO stock has enough potential for you to keep adding to your positions, or if you should stop investing into BNGO stock for now. Press the like button right now if you own BNGO stock or NNDM stock. Comment down below if you will continue investing into Nano Dimension stock or Bio. Subscribe to the channel for more stock news updates, and let's make you some free money with Webull. Webull is a free brokerage app where you can buy and sell stocks, options, and cryptocurrencies. But right now, you can get 2 free stocks with Webull. You can get the first free stock, which can be worth anywhere from $2 to $250 for just creating an account. And you can get a second free stock, which can be worth up to $1,600 if you invest $100 or more on your first deposit. You will have a 1 in 100 chance of getting stocks like Facebook, Starbucks, or Snapchat, and you have a 1 in 50 chance of getting stocks like Google or Procter & Gamble. To get this offer, just press on the link in my description box down below, but do it quickly because this offer will not last forever. And without further ado, let's get into today's stories. Nano Dimension is one of our favorite 3D additive manufacturing plays in the electronic space, and recently Nano Dimension had a conference call to discuss their financial results from the fourth quarter and for the year of 2020. The financial results from this conference call will help investors understand if NNDM is improving or not, which could dictate on how bullishly or bearishly we view NNDM stock for future growth. Now, before we do our Nano Dimension analysis and talk about NNDM stock, I want to preface that I am bullish on NNDM stock, and I still have an NNDM stock price target of $25, and these financial results have not changed my price prediction. It was projected that 2020 would be one of Nano Dimension's worst years, but listen to this quote by their chief financial officer. "We ended 2020 with a strong balance sheet and $671 million in cash and bank deposits thanks to the equity offerings we concluded during the year, and we have strengthened it even more to a balance of nearly $1.5 billion as of the end of February 2021. We recognize revenues of $3.4 million, which is lower than last year due to the effect of the illness, but better than what we originally expected. We are focusing our efforts on fulfilling our growth plan, both internal through product development and research and development efforts, as well as through external mergers and acquisition activities." End quote. Once Nano Dimension decides on one of their many options for a merger or acquisition, the NNDM stock price could surge, which will give us a great opportunity to cash out at the top of that hype, then buy back once the hype goes back down. In 2020, NNDM raised approximately $710 million through equity offerings, which saved them because Nano Dimension had a large decrease in revenue during 2020. In the fourth quarter, NNDM had $1.971 million in revenue, which is about the same amount that they had last year in the same quarter, but this time most of the revenues came from the sales and upgrades of their 3D printing machines. So Nano Dimension's fourth quarter revenues were actually pretty great considering the circumstances, and I expect NNDM's revenue to increase this quarter. The fourth quarter research and development costs were $3.725 million, which is over twice the amount it was last year, but I see that more as an investment instead of an expense, so that doesn't really bother me. NNDM also got some government grants, which added up to $6,000 in the fourth quarter, which is kind of useless, but surprisingly, Nano Dimension increased their marketing expenses to $2.373 million, which is projected to majorly increase as time goes on. Regarding the fourth quarter, Nano Dimension spent around $3.5 million on general and administrative expenses, which is about normal, so nothing shocking there. However, NNDM's finance expense was $8.9 million, which was over 4-fold more expensive compared to their fourth quarter in 2019. I also want to mention that Nano Dimension stock has done extremely well in 2020, so don't take that away from them either. And overall, for the fourth quarter, Nano Dimension had a net loss of around $17.5 million and negative earnings of around 20 cents per NNDM share. But we have to remember that what we just discussed was the financial results of only the fourth quarter, and overall I thought it was pretty good. On the other hand, let's look at Nano Dimension's year-over-year financial results, which are far more telling. For 2020, NNDM made $3.4 million in revenue compared to $7 million from the year prior. But just the fact that Nano Dimension made any revenue was great, because their CEO even said they might not make any revenue for 2020. For research and development costs and sales and marketing, NNDM did very good with normal amounts of spending, but year-over-year finance expense was tough because it doubled year-over-year, and we don't want expenses doubling without their revenues also doubling. This is particularly important because these expenses are way over what NNDM is generating in revenue for the year. Nano Dimension's overall net loss was around $48.5 million, which is well over quadruple their losses from 2019, which is bad. But why you should not be worried is because NNDM stock is holding up relatively well considering the current environment, and it's still at a decent buying price. Plus, Nano Dimension has loads of cash and basically no debts, so it's not like the company is going to go bankrupt anytime soon and the stock's going to go to zero. ARK Invest and Kathy Wood still love Nano Dimension, I still like Nano Dimension, and I still have a $25 short-term price target on it. And with that being said, let's talk about BNGO stock. Bio-Nanogenomics stock, also known as BNGO stock, is one of our genomics plays, which is part of a huge market, so I always encourage people to check out genomics ETFs like ARKG because there is just so much money here. Recently, Bio-Nanogenomics CEO presented Bio-Nanogenomics technology and how revolutionary it is at the H.C. Wainwright conference, which should generate a small amount of hype in the BNGO stock price. However, I already think the hype is factored into the BNGO stock price, but just listen to this quote about BNGO. Granted, its sales have a good chance of exploding. A recent Seeking Alpha article on the company points out that gene sequencing has just a 50% rate of success compared to their instrument, the Sapphire, which skips sequencing. It detects structural variations in human chromosomes. It acts as a complementary product to sequencing. Analysts predict that Bio-Nanogenomics will have around $18 million in sales next year, and at a current valuation of $2.378 billion, BNGO stock is trading at 132 times its forward sales, and that is assuming that sales dramatically increase, which can easily happen after Bio-Nanogenomics gets FDA approval to use their technology in medical devices and diagnostic laboratories and hospitals. But currently, BNGO stock is fully valued, but I look to the future value and base my investments off of that instead, which is why I think BNGO is easily worth $14 a share. As always, remember to like this video right now, it helps me out a lot. Comment down below your thoughts on Nano Dimension stock and Bio-Nanogenomics stock. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see all of you in the next YT video.